Hello, my name is Jack Tour with the Saline Legion of Mathematics Scholars. Today here for you I have a video about a TI calculator program I wrote that can find any given term or sum of a geometric sequence. I'm going to show you quickly how it works, and then if you think it would be useful I will show you how to program it. So here, just as a quick reminder, is a geometric sequence. There's a common ratio between terms, and the common ratio here is 4. 2 times 4 is 8, 8 times 4 is 32, and so on and so on. In math classes and on standardized tests, you will often see questions that ask you to find maybe the 50th term of this geometric sequence or the sum of the first 20 terms of this geometric sequence. And there are formulas to solve these, but it can often be challenging to just remember these in your head, especially when you're preparing for a big standardized test. So what I have done is created a program that allows you to find any given term or sum of a geometric sequence. This is similar to my arithmetic sequence program, which I have already posted a video on how to program. So here I will give you a quick example. Let's go to program. Here is my arithmet for my arithmetic sequence program, but we want to go to geomet for my geometric sequence program. I also have one for infinite geometric sequences. Start up the program. It's going to ask you for the first term. In this case, it's 2. Then it's going to ask you for the common ratio. We already established 8 divided by 4, or 8 divided by 2 is 4, and then 2 times 4 is 8, 8 times 4 is 32, and so on. So it's 4. And then the term number we want to find. As an example, let's just see if we can find the 5th term. If it checks out to be 512, then the program is working correctly. So the 5th term, and then it's also going to ask number of terms we want to sum. Let's just sum the first 5 terms for fun. And there you go, it says the 5th term is 512, that's correct, and it says the sum is 682. Let's double check that by answering in 2 plus 8 plus 32 plus 128 plus 512, 682, and it did all of that in the blink of an eye. So if you think that program will be useful to you, I am now going to show you how to program it. Now for the programming, I will be using this TI emulator on my computer. Here is the calculator, and here is my key press history. To create a new program, you're going to hit the program button. I already have a program. You might have none. That's fine. All you need to do is go over to new and hit enter to create a new program. This new program, you could name anything you want to remind you that it's a geometric sequence program. I will name mine Geomet. That works for me. Hit enter, and now you can put in the programming of the program. Now, for all the functions we're going to be using, similar to the arithmetic sequence program, we will be hitting the program key. And the first thing we would like to do is hit the program key, go over to input output, and we are going to display, which is 3, or you could go down and hit it. And the first thing we are going to display in quotation marks is first term, because we would like to know what the first term is. So now first term will be displayed on the screen, but we want people to actually input what the first term is. So let's allow an input function here, and we will use f. Alright, now we have the variable f representing the first term, and they have inputted a value, but that's not the only thing we need. We need quite a few things. The next thing we need to display to prompt the user for would be the ratio. Okay, now ratio is displayed, and similarly to what we did last time, we are going to have them input a variable, and the variable we will use to represent the common ratio is r. And we are going to do this yet again, display, and we are going to be displaying text again, so use quotation marks. And the text we will be displaying is term num, because we want to know what number term they would like to find. Okay, and there will be an empty line there, that's completely fine. Now we are going to again allow people to input, and the input that we would like them to put in is t. That's a variable that will represent the term number. And now we need one more thing, that is the number of terms to be summed. Display, and number to sum. Alright, and then for the very last thing in this sequence of programming is input n. We will be using n to represent the number of terms to sum. Alright, now that the program has all the information it needs inputted. What we are going to have to do is perform the actual functions we need. And the first one we are going to do will allow us to find the value of the term. So enter in this function exactly as I enter it. F multiplied by R. And then you're going to use the caret for the power. And then here in the parentheses, t minus 1. And that is going to give you the term value. And what we're going to do is store it to a value. So hit the store key. And we are going to store it to v. And this way we can very quickly display it. Okay, now we have the term value, but now we need to find the term sum. So you're going to do an open parenthesis right here and do f. And then another open parenthesis and do 1 minus r. And then to the n. Once you have that put in, you may add a close parenthesis, use a division symbol, and then add in 1 minus r, and then close parenthesis to close everything you have there, and store this one to s, and that is going to give you the sum. Now these both represent formulas that you could just memorize on your own in a math class, but using this program is much easier. And now all we need to do is display what we have found for the user. So program display, and first we are going to display what we are displaying, the name of what we're displaying, and what we are displaying first is the term. After you've put in what the name of what you're displaying is, then you're going to have to tell the calculator, hey, I want to show what that actual value was, and if you remember, we stored that value to v. So display v without quotation marks. Next, you're going to be displaying again, but this time we will be displaying the sum. This is the last thing we will need to do in the programming for this. So display sum, and then just display s. And it's all done. There you go. And in TI programming, you do not have to hit any save button or anything. As long as you just quit second and hit the mode key to quit, it will be saved. If you go to program, here under the execute section, we have the arithmetic sequence program, which I made in a previous video, and the geometric sequence program. Let's fire it up and see if it works. So you press 2 and you get the program pulled up. You hit enter to begin it. What's the first term? Let's use that sequence from earlier as an example. If you don't remember, it was 2, 8, 32, 128, 512. The first term was 2. Common ratio was 4. We wanted to find the fifth term, which was 512. And the number of terms to sum, 5. 512, 682. There you go. That is how you program the geometric sequence program that I developed. And that was a video from the Saline Legion of Mathematics Scholars. Go ahead and check out our website for more interesting mathematics-related content. Thank you for watching, and I hope this was useful.